You are welcome, everyone. In this video, we're going to be looking at indices problems that involves simultaneous equation. So, indices problems that are simultaneous equation in nature. Because you could be given different series of indices problems that are not even relating to some of the stuffs that we have done. As in this case, this is going to be relating to simultaneous equation. But we need to be very smart when attempting this. Now, the first equation given to us, solution. So from the first equation given to us, I have 2 raised to the power of x plus 3 raised to the power of y equal to 9. That's still a little bit simple. But look at the second equation. It's a bit complicated, more complicated than the first equation. The second equation says two raised to the power of x plus 2 minus 3 raised to the power of y plus 1 equal to 8. So we are going to be breaking down this equation. So we are going to be simplifying it. We are going to be splitting this equation. And don't forget, in indices, when you have a raised to the power of b multiplied by a raised to the power of c, the result is going to be a raised to the power of b plus c. You add the power. Now, if you are given a raised to the power of b plus c, that is, they are given this. So you can also reverse back by getting this. So by splitting, you will have a raised to the power of b multiplied by a raised to the power of c. So it could be done in both ways. And that's what we have here. We are given 2 raised to the power of x plus 2, which means I can split into 2 raised to the power of x multiplied by 2 raised to the power of 2. Of course, as you can see, when I apply the law of indices, it becomes 2 raised to the power of x plus 2. So 2 raised to the power of x plus 2 can be split into 2 raised to the power of x times 2 raised to the power of 2. And of course, I'm going to be doing the same thing to 3 raised to the power of y plus 1. So we have minus 3 raised to the power of y multiplied by 3 raised to the power of 1. So you can see, so we've done the splitting. Then everything equal to 8. So which I can now write as 3 raised to the power of 2 is 4. I will say 4, then in brackets 2 raised to the power of x. Still the same thing. Minus 3 raised to the power of 1 is 3. 3 into 3 raised to the power of y. Raised to the power of y. Everything equal to 8. And as you can see, I have broken down the second equation, which is this, into 4 into 2 raised to the power of x, then minus 3 in the bracket 3 raised to the power of y. Everything equal to 8. Now let us now rewrite both equations now. So we are going to be having the first equation given to us is, so the first equation given to us is this, so which is 2 raised to the power of x plus 3 raised to the power of y equal to 9. And the second equation given to us is this, but we've further simplified it into this, so which is going to be 4 into bracket 2 raised to the power of x, 2 raised to the power of x, then plus, okay, minus 3 into bracket 3 raised to the power of y, everything equal to 8. So this is what we are now going to be solving. So based on what we have here, as you can see, we can say so we can represent p equal to 2 raised to the power of x. and we can represent Q to be equal to 3 raised to the power of y, so that we can do all these things successfully. So since 2 raised to the power of x is represented as p and 3 raised to the power of y is represented as q, so we can substitute these into both the first equation and the second equation. Now let's substitute into the first equation. So we're having p, because 2 raised to the power of x is p, plus 3 raised to the power of y is q, plus q equal to 9. So let me call this equation 1. Then substituting into the second equation, we have 4 times 2 raised to the power of x, and 2 raised to the power of x is p. So 4p minus 3q, because 3 raised to the power of y is q. Everything equal to 8. So equation 2. Then we solve these equations simultaneously. So all we just need to do is we solve equation 1 and equation 2. We solve for p and q. Now let's quickly solve this simultaneous equation using substitution method. So we know that from equation 1, we know that p will be equal to 9 minus q. So we substitute the value of p, which is 9 minus q, into equation 2. So substituting, p, which is equal to 9 minus q, into equation 2. So you are going to be having 4 into bracket p, and p is 9 minus q. 9 minus q, and close your brackets, minus 3q, everything equal to 8. So we open the bracket. So 4 times 9 is 36, minus 4 times q is 4q. So let's quickly do that. So let me write it again. 4 into bracket 9 minus q, then minus 3q equal to 8, minus 3q equal to 8. So we're having 4 times 9 is 36. 36 minus 4q minus 3q equal to 8. So we have minus 4q minus 3q, that's minus 7q. Minus 7q equal to, we have 8 minus 36. And of course, minus 7q equal to 8 minus 36 is minus 28. So we have minus 28. Of course, divide both sides by minus 7. Dividing both sides by minus 7, we have q equal to minus 28 over minus 7. And of course, you know that when negative is dividing negative, it gives positive. So q equal to 4. Q equal to 4. Of course, let's solve for p. So we have that p equal to q, 9 minus q, from this equation here. So p equal to 9 minus q. So since p equal to 9 minus q, since p equal to 9 minus q, then we can say p equal to 9 minus 4. Why? Because the value of q is 4. Hence, we can say p equal to 5. So p equal to 5 and q equal to 4. And don't forget, in our question, we have represented p to be equal to 2 raised to the power of x. And as well, we have represented q to be equal to 3 raised to the power of y. So we are going to be bringing back these values. Recall. So we are going to be recalling back these values. So we have to recall that what? That p equal to 2 raised to the power of x. That p equal to 2 raised to the power of x. And also that q equal to 3 raised to the power of y. So hence we have what? Then we can say 2 raised to the power of x, which is p, and p is also 5. So 2 raised to the power of x equal to 5. And of course, since they do not share the same base, so we can turn these indices into log. So we are going to be raising them to log of base 10, which is going to be equal to, so raising this into log, it becomes x is equal to log 5 base 2. But how do we go about this? So we can easily say, raising both of them to log, it becomes log 2 raised to the power of x equal to log 5. Of course, one of the rules for log is that when you have a power of x, as in this case, it can become x log 2, which is going to be equal to log 5. So dividing both sides by log 2, it becomes x equal to log 5 over log 2. And log 5 over log 2 is the same thing as log 5 base 2. So it's the same thing as log 5 base 2. So when we are really considering logarithms, so I'm going to be putting you through all the rules, all the laws of logarithms, so that you would not be confused, so that you get familiar and will be solving as many examples as possible. So log 5 over log 2, in as much as they are sharing the same base, is going to be the same thing as log of 5 base 2. Now let's quickly do the same thing for q. So for q, also for q, so let me write that here. So for q, we have q, which is going to be the same thing as 3 raised to the power of y. So we have 3 raised to the power of y equal to, and the value of q that we have gotten is 4, equal to 4. So doing the same thing, because 3 and 4, they are not the same. That means both left hand side and right hand side do not have the same base. So we're going to be raising to log also. So we can say log 3 raised to the power of y, log 3 raised to the power of y equal to log 4. And of course, we have y log 3 equal to log 4. Then we have y equal to log 4 over log 3. And log 4 over log 3 can also be written as log of 4 base 3. Log 4 base 3. So therefore, we can say that x equal to log 5 base 2 and y equal to log 4 base 3. And that's how you go about this. Now let's consider another example, which is going to be two exercises in this video. All right, that will be all for this video, because I checked the time and I see that our time is fast spent. I don't want to have very long video, so I'm going to be posting another exercise in another video, more complex than this. So don't forget to share and like. You are great.